What is happening, y'all? Welcome on back. So this episode, we're going to be focused on the Cerulean coast. We are starting from the Cerulean coast cross. If you don't have this, from the entrance, you basically just run straight through and up a hill. But so from here, we are ready to go. And the very first thing we're doing is just taking a north heading. And we're going to hop up here. And head north to jump on the highway for a grave 9. Okay. Let's see if there was... Watch out for the lightning balls. Just baiting that thing out so it doesn't zap us. More lightning balls, how fun. Alright, so we have the Grave Glove Wart 9. Then we're going to jump over that gap. I'm going to go over here for a St. Trina's Disciple 1 cookbook. Now there are one of those grabby enemies that like spit stuff at you and then latch onto your face, so just be careful of that thing. It's right below us. Just going to run past that over to this other highway. I don't know what they are, I'm just calling them highways. These are huge. Pick up the Great Grave Glovewort. There's the guy. If he sees us, he might try and shoot us, so we're dipping fast. We're going back to where we were, basically. Turned around while I was running. Because there's another highway that's down there. So this is that same gap that we initially jumped. Just jumping back across again. And this time we're going to fall down. Great grave. Head on up to the high end of it to drop down. And then we're going to run down along the beach. Bunch of finger enemies around. You can just ignore these dudes, kill them, do whatever you want. We're making our way to those switchbacks over there, and we'll climb up those for 6 smithing stone 2s. Then we're going to continue along the breach for a shadow rune 2. Another grave buff, and then a new grace. Oh god, man, that almost... Ooh. Well, gotta jump out of me. Happy to know that later on you'll get your very own finger creeper. So don't go that way just yet. First we're just gonna run up around this. There we go. And you can see some of them buried in the sand. And now we'll run up the busted highway for the Finger Creeper Ruins. Should completely overlooked this area in my Let's Play originally. And I was like looking all over trying to figure out how to get to it, and I was like, oh, you just go this way. So the Finger Ruins of Rhea is fairly empty. From what I can tell, the most important thing that's here is going to be a duplicator, which I'll show you its location. Pretty easy to get to. It's just on that cliff ledge that's right in front of us. So we'll run over and I'll show that real fast. And besides that, I have crawled through this place for like an hour and have not found anything. Now there's another Finger Ruins later. The later one has some stuff, but this one I haven't found any items, to be clear. There is a side quest that's going to require us to come back here at a later time. But in terms of like, you know, maybe there's goodies. I mean, there's like crafting stuff that you can just pick up off the ground. But nothing that's like out for you to grab. And where is he? Right here. So this is our first of 3 remembrance duplicators. Obviously, you probably don't want to use this right now. You know, the only new boss we have in there is Dancing Lion, but you can use it for old bosses as well. And similarly, any mausoleum duplicators that you haven't used in the base game, you can use for DLC bosses. So there are 3 I know of in the DLC. By the time I'm done all the walkthrough prep, maybe that number will go up. Probably not, because all 3 have something to do with fingers. But anyway, we're just going to run past, and we are running for that opening you see in the cliff over there. Now, the one enemy to really look out for in this place, they're more towards the middle, so we're going to avoid the middle. But what will happen is you'll just see a purple light that'll flash, it'll hit your character, you get suspended, and then one of those weird snake finger guys that we saw will show on up and suck face. So don't go towards the middle, just go this way. They'll also cast sorceries that'll chase us, but you can usually just outrun them with Torrent. Like Finger Lampreys or something. Once we follow this around, we come to a little hut. This guy will give you some lore related to the fingers, and we get a cookbook out here. So after you have that, we're going to warp back to the original Cerulean Coast Grace. And we're going to go up against our undead dragon. So as always, either a Sacred Blade or Inseparable Sword. The dragon's already there, so we don't need to worry about him going up to smack us this time around. This is very similar to the last dragon, but this one can actually summon undead to assist him. So he can also hit his own undead and kill them, which is kind of funny. Just something to be aware of. Just a slight extra challenge over the previous one you killed. Same rules apply. Ooh! He's trying to kill me. We're done with that, so you can take that off, put on whatever other weapon you want. I mean, actually, we'll just hang out with it. There's more grave birds coming up, so. Let me get a buff. Alright, so after he is dead, there should be a smithing 7 that we can pick up, and then some human bone shards. So smithing 7, where's the human bone shards? And I hate trying to spot the loot in this area because it blends right in. Actually, you know what? I wonder if the human bone shards, because those have been very inconsistent for me. I wonder if they were a drop from the skeletons that he summons up. I say as I walk over top of them. Okay, so got that. After this, we're just gonna head out west. So out west you go. And then we have a double highway, so we're just going to run up both of these. And then after, we'll make our way over. There's more of these, I don't know what these guys are called. We'll just call them Shadow Men. Don't let that thing hit you. Actually, don't even let them attack. They start attacking, it's bad. Hurt a lot. We're just going to head on out, and there's a couple loots in this area we can grab. Just be distinctly aware of the lightning orbs. That's the most dangerous thing out here. Be a grave item over here. 7. There's a grave 7, a lost ashes, shattered rune 3, then a gravekeeper's cookbook. Oh, 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 oh. It's our spirit gravestone. God, I'm using the shield to block that again. There's our lost ashes. I'm gonna say lost. Shadow 3 string. Kill that guy. Get the Gravekeeper's Cookbook 1. It's the Shadow Realm rune. It's the string. Okay, it should be everything. So northwest for the gravestone, the grave 7, which we already grabbed. We're gonna climb up onto this highway over here. That's gonna get us a grave 8, and then we're gonna go down for a grace and a grave 2. Try this around. See your grace right there, but just run past real fast. There's just a grave 2 tucked back here. Alright, and we are all done fighting undead type stuff for now, so if you want to switch up to a different weapon, go for it. In terms of enemies coming up, probably go. I might put on a spear. Spear sounds fun. Let's go ahead and rest. Real fast, I actually did the math on this. If you're looking for pure value, this is actually one of the best helms in the game. So we do take a hit to focus. You can see my focus takes a considerable hit. The restorative effect reduction is roughly 12.5%. So not all that bad. And in exchange for that, you're getting 4 strength and 4 dexterity, which, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that's insane value. The only downside is, you know, you look like this. So if you don't care how you look, very, very good value on that helm. Even with the healing reduction, I'd recommend it, just because 8 stat points is insane. But, you know, you look like a goofball, so like this. I mean, God, look at this. Look at the drip, you know. I gotta maintain my drip. Anyway. We're going to leave, and we are going to just run around this and make our way up here. I'm going to put on a visor cord for a ambush. And once you get close enough that you see the summon sign, you know you're in the right spot. Now there is a demi-human swordsman, very similar to Yosh. I actually think this one's harder than Yosh. So we are going to just walk right on up while crouched. If you don't approach crouched, it'll get the drop on you. And massive damage. Take him out and you get a starlight shard. And then we'll go on over here. We'll grab the smithing stone 6. After that, just run on past where he was at back here. Gonna be the spirit blade back here. just to show that real fast. Sculpted blade does Rancor slash. It's kind of cool. We'll take a better look at it when we're not moving, but we're just running along. We're keeping this wall to our right. Just kind of running past some stuff here. There's a bunch of these things. These are triggered to explode, so just beware. Right when you get to this kind of tight nook here, we're going to swing on in. Kill that guy and get another Skidoo tree frag. Beware of the lightning orbs here. There's some turtles you can kill over there, but no other loot. And we're just going to run on through down to the beach. So there is a demi-human queen over here. We can go ahead and pull on out our mimic. I want to see how hard I can nuke. Let me show y'all the absolute peak of my nuke potential. Bat roll. I mean, you can kill her with a lot of stuff. My Faith guy instant killed her with a single flame thing. But for beating her, we get the Starline sword, which is really cool. I don't have the int to show this off, but usually there would be like there's like blue energy coming off of it, and then big Sekiro vibes from that, right? Anyway, let me put back on my stuff so I'm not overweight. I actually cleaned this up. I have a lot of stuff I do not need on right now. But after her, just gonna run over to this rock and then we'll make our way up this. Another great grave, and then shoot on over to Cerulean Coast West. Okay, so from the west, just kind of head to the south, and that big tree that we see right there, that's our landmark. That's what we're working towards. You can see it kind of goes down a little bit, so just gonna climb on up, beware of the lightning orbs, and run down here. Once you get down the hole, take the eastern path first. If you run past these things, they'll blow up. Like Somber 4. Running past these guys, I'm just going up top to get another grave thing. A great grave, and now we just run down the opposite path. I'm gonna put in you stance break. I was debating if I wanted to change that to something else. Stance break's good. Yeah, we're just heading west if you get disoriented at all. And then once we get over here, there is a crawfish that's going to be guarding some stuff in a second. I'm hoping the twin bolt axe actually does what I said it would do this time. You don't have to fight this thing, I just really want to see if I can get the blink bolt combo to work how I want it to. Yeah. That's what I wanted it to do the first time I was trying to show it off to you. Is that blink bolt, usually it'll dash in before they can, it like dashes through the hit. Anyway, grab the crag eggs though, and then after that, I'm just gonna continue west on out. Once you exit, swing around and up to your left. And fight the crabs if you want, or just run past them. And up here, we will get to the perfumed oil of Rana. We're going to work our way down. And then we're going to run up again on the south side. This is basically just that little island that we saw off the coast. So, I'll show you where we're at. Nothing big on this island, with the exception of a mausoleum. And in here, we're going to fight Dancer Rana. So if you give her a chance to start hitting you, she can actually be pretty dangerous. For the most part, I really don't think she's that bad. You should be able to just get on top of her and basically bully her into submission, to be completely honest with you. But we'll do the guard counter strat, since that works so incredibly well. She doesn't really have poise. When she starts dancing, though, you gotta be a little careful. That flame will nuke you. As you saw right there, that flame actually, that killed me right there. That procced my cheat death. And they definitely buffed her up. Now, let me actually go for, playing a little bit safer. Alright, Dancer but now down. Nothing quite like poking somebody behind an indomitable shield. Very satisfying, I feel. That set will actually buff the damage of the weapon. It's a decent dex weapon. Want to say it gets S scaling, but I haven't leveled one up in a while. Either way, head back to Cerulean Coast Cross. And from there, we're going to wrap up this zone. Alright. So, we are basically just heading on over to this. So, just run straight ahead. There's that little highway structure over there. We're going to run up that thing first. Get another grave item. There's a couple more of those lightning orb things, so just watch out. Tell you what, I'm getting ruined, so I'm really debating if I want to keep this character, ow, at 200. Previously, I decided, like, I'm going to keep them at 200. It seems like a good meta PvP level. But now I'm like, but what about more? More stats. The DLC has made me stat hungry. Turn this character into max level. So we're just running along. There's going to be a dude throwing magic pots, so just keep going. And we'll kill him. Get a item off of him. Ow! It's almost bad. Once you reach over to him, though, just Same thing you've always done with trolls. Hit them with 2 heavy charge attacks that should open them up for the crit in the face. Alright, him down. Get our hefty cracked pot. And then we're gonna run on over this way. And up that highway for some loot. There we go. Let's jump down, and now we're just making our way pretty much for the big hole. We're gonna run off to the left here to get a St. Trina's Disciple 2 cookbook, and then we'll head on down. But you're going to want to put on your lantern so you can see as we descend into the pit. Right here at the very edge. Alright, now we just run back. These enemies, there's like probably 50 of these out here. They're all surrounding the pit. They're also very annoying to kill. Magma seems to work well against them, but just be aware of them. You're just like, oh, I want to look in the pit. Like, well, that might end badly for you if they start attacking. Alright, we're going to drop on down. And there's 2 loots as we're descending. Let me see what it is exactly. Shadow 1 and then a deep purple lily. It's still wild to me, because like coming down here before it was like rainbow stones and then fur calling finger remedy or something, and they've changed so many of the little loots. It's really weird. Alright, and we have reached our grace and we're ready to wrap up. So right now this is sealed. We can break that seal by just approaching the Shadow Keep, and once we do, we'll probably come on down here and do it, because there's a lot of really nice spells here, and it'll also allow us to clean up Thuleo's quest line. But for now, at least, we are done. You have done everything that the Cerulean coast has to offer, so warp on over to the Grand Altar of Dragon Communion, and in the next part, we're going to tackle Charo's Hidden Grave.